Welcome back, everyone. Normally, when we talk about heart health, we're talking about exercise or diet, but now researchers say living near an airport can also take a toll on your heart, and it may be due to the level of noise. Dr. Kevin Campbell is the ideal person to talk to about this. He's a practicing cardiologist and assistant professor of medicine at the University of North Carolina. Hi, Doc. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me today.
So what is the link? What is significant about aircraft noise that would cause heart disease? Why would that be?
Well, it's interesting. We know that standing beside an airplane about 25 meters before it takes off is about 150 decibels, and that can rupture an eardrum. In the study that we're referencing today, it was about 45 decibels. What that does is it increases the release of stress hormones, it increases cortisol levels, and all of these things are associated with increased risk for heart disease, high blood pressure, things of that sort.
Is it specific to the noise of an airplane, or is it any loud noise that you might be living with repeatedly?
Any loud noise that you might be living with repeatedly. In fact, if you go up on the street here in Manhattan, the decibel level is about 60 to 70, which is even more than the noise levels that were seen in this study. So it's actually pretty interesting that noise pollution can really be deleterious to our heart health.
It's interesting, though, this study focused on the folks in neighborhoods around airports, but I wonder what would happen if you talked to folks that worked in construction or lived in a big city that's very noisy, or worked in a factory. Doc, have you seen any sort of research like that, and what do you expect to tell a patient as a medical professional if they can't avoid living in an area where there's a lot of noise?
Exactly. I think that we have seen some studies that are similar to this that show increased levels of high blood pressure and that sort of thing in areas of loud noise. What I would say is you need to help your patient develop coping skills, such as meditation, if you can, in the middle of a noisy street, exercise, other ways to deal with the stress that this noise pollution can cause for you.
It's a tough segue, but some people turn to drinking to deal with stress. That's our next topic, not as a way to deal with stress, but because of what these Chinese researchers found. They say that Sprite, there's an ingredient in Sprite and club soda that helps cure a hangover. Can you explain why that would be?
This was actually really interesting to me, very interesting study. What they found was that when we ingest alcohol, the liver breaks it down into metabolites, and some of these metabolites are what causes the hangover. There's another enzyme or protein that breaks down the metabolite that causes this hangover problem, and Sprite seems to increase the rate at which it eliminates the hangover protein. Other things, such as herbal tea, which in the past we've thought is a good hangover cure, slows that down so it can make the hangover last longer.
In your medical opinion, our team needs your advice because this came up during commercial break. If you mix alcohol and Sprite, does that mean you do not have a hangover the next day, Doc? Is that what this study's telling us?
I don't think that's telling us that at all. I think the best advice is hydrate. You really need to stay hydrated. One of the reasons your head hurts and you feel so awful after drinking is because you get dehydrated. And if you drink tons of water and take a little ibuprofen, along with now have a Sprite when you wake up with your eggs and bacon, I think that may help.
Is that what you do, Doc? Eggs and bacon post a night of too much wine? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot now, but
I do like a little egg white omelet. How about that?
Okay, that's good. Thanks for playing, Doc. Some interesting topics, and we'll see. We'll ask our viewers if this indeed works. Dr. Campbell, great to see you. Thank you.
You too, Jenna. Thanks so much.
Hey, Coca-Cola owns Sprite. I think their stock just
we'll see if it's part of their
there.
marketing campaign in the future. I'm not so sure.